Well, men, we are out here outside of the walls to do a counterattack against these fools who attack our city. Yes, we shall do this alone, but with great valor and strength, because the gods are with us. Oh God, there's camels! The horror! Welcome back, everyone. Ellington here, and we are back on Total War Rome 2. And this is a 3 versus 3 on none other than the settlement of Burdigala. And this poor Galatian sword, I don't know why, was sent out all by his lonesome and kind of got obliterated. A lot of camels actually died. Quite a few camels died. One, they got a really good javelin toss, but then there's some archers and stuff up here that looks like they got some good little tosses. So that camel actually, where did he go? Or was it this guy? 59 out of 80, so he lost, what, 21 men? That's ouchie. So this battle was sent in by Graikos, I believe. Yeah, Graikos sent it in, but it looks like this battle is from Saba's perspective. But anyways, so Parthia has been commanded by Graikos. We've got Egypt being commanded by Authentic Muslim. And then finally we have Saba themselves being commanded by none other than the blackest of feet, Blackfoot himself. For the defenders, we have got Pergamon being commanded by Jeff Rush. We've got Swaby being commanded by BT Crab. And finally, Insubres being commanded by Tony. It was something Tony. Tony. Yeah, Tony. Insubres is a glitched-in faction. I can't remember if they are Rise of the Republic or... I don't remember which DLC these guys come from, but they are not Grand Campaign. They are a glitched-in faction, aka they are a cheating faction. And they're probably going to get their asses kicked because cheaters are cheaters and they're no fun. Artillery shooting back at... I don't know what he's shooting at. He's shooting just kind of randomly back here. The Parthian catapults, I believe, has been trying to get a wall down. 45%. I don't know if Saba's is even shooting. I'm really not sure what the wall artillery is actually aiming at. I think he's just trying to get, I think he's assuming there's stuff here, and so he's just fire, 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 fire. See if we hit something, you know what I mean? Which to me seems like a little bit of a waste of ammo. I don't know. He was able to keep his tower, or his ballista alive by destroying the tower. 45 and 52. So what's happening is he's kind of hitting two different wall sections. So realistically, he should have something destroyed by now. But see, so these wall sections. So he's got one at 60 and one at 52. So the split is like right there. This is one wall. This is a different wall, which kind of sucks. Because, you know what I mean? It means you're putting a lot of ammunition, and yet a lot of that ammo is being split, which means you're basically wasting ammo, which really sucks. That really sucks. It is no bueno. They did land another tower, okay. Realistically, probably just to deal with the ballista would be my assumption. Sorry, I took my hands off the controls here for a second. So they did deal with that. All they really sent up was a Desert Spear, cheap, shitty unit. Another Galatian sword coming out. We've got some Egyptian infantry that are, taking it on. But we have Egyptian archers right here shooting right into the backs, and also Sabaean camel cataphracts coming in to obliterate life as these Galatian swords know it. Good javelin toss, though. Good javelin toss. Took 9 down with that. 46 kills on the camel cataphracts. That Galatian sword 53, and Obviously, that's a combo between, you know, the 9 kills here and then some of the kills on the Egyptian infantry earlier. Archers are up to 17. 131 on this one. What did he shoot? Did he shoot these guys, or maybe he was shooting stuff back here in the, or out here in the, you know, the plains. Egypt now pushing forward. It looks like we got a bunch of thorax swords. Where's your Glacial Royal Guard? Royal Thorax, Royal Thorax. This son of a gun didn't bring Glacial Royal Guard? How dare he? And he brought Egyptian archers. That's just a bit of a weird option to me. 2 Egyptian archers. And I actually don't see any other range from Egypt. Hold on. No, here we go. Mercenary Cretan. So he went 2 Egyptian archers, 2 mercenary Cretan archers. Obviously trying to save money for other things, but I mean, I don't know. I guess, you know, maybe they're just not that worried about archers as a whole because the defenders don't have great archers themselves, possibly. And Subres. Longsword warriors. So, people ask all the time, why is it illegal to bring in factions from the other DLCs? One, it's not built into the game. AKA, by making it happen, you're literally breaking the game to make it happen. That's cheating. Plain and simple. It was not meant to be together because the DLCs are not evened out with each other. They're not... oh my gosh, what is the word I'm looking for? It's just that the DLCs are not built to face each other, right? The power differences between each DLC is very, very different. So, you know, by bringing in these factions from these other DLCs, you could be bringing in basically like super warriors into a place that just isn't good enough to face them, you know, and that's cheating. Plain and simple, it's cheating, guys. You know, and that's, I think, the thing that frustrates people the most is that, you know, you're literally doing something to break the game to make this thing happen. And majority of the time, it's because you know that this faction is overpowered compared to the other factions on the field. That is why it's a big deal, and that's why it's a big no-no. Same thing with glitching units in, right? You know, one time I covered a battle where a Bowie Eye was in the battle, right? And I'm sitting here watching this Bowie Eye, you know, this fight with Bowie Eye, and all of a sudden I see Bowie Eye's archers show up, and they were frickin' Gallic Hunters. And I'm like, wait. Bowie Eye doesn't get Gallic Hunters. Because imagine this, Bowie Eye is an extremely good faction with some of the best infantry in the game. One downside to Bowie Eye is they don't have a 150 range archer. Oop, Cav coming in. Oh, they're going to charge right in. To a spear wall? Yeah, man, they're going straight in. We do have counter-cavalry tactics going on. But a pretty massive charge here. They did trample. The spear wall did kind of get obliterated. In all reality, what that means is it's not that the spear wall died, it's that the spear wall was knocked over, right? And so this Cav getting, I mean, blasting all through the lines here. Now he's in the back lines, getting into longbow hunters. There were some Highland hunters from Insubres here. And now gonna get into the back of the Galatian swords. 349. Parthians, Camel Cataphracts, 139. So he kind of got hung up here on the, you know, the dregs of the initial charge. While the Sabaean Cataphracts, they blasted through the entirety of the defenses. 414, but he's probably dead. Yep, there it goes. Parthian, Camel Cataphracts, 149, and they are basically gone at this point. But now we have all of the troops moved up. But anyways, like I was saying, Bowie Eye doesn't get longbow hunters, because could you imagine how good Bowie Eye is when you then give them a relatively solid 150 range archer that has snipe and oh shit, what's the other ability? Snipe and not stealth, but guerrilla deploy, stuff like that, right? You know, it makes Bowie Eye so much better. Well, there's a reason they don't get that unit, because honestly, they're basically broken when they've got it. You know, and it's just things like that. It's just not good. You know, factions have weaknesses, and they should have those weaknesses. Honestly, literally just for the individuality of the faction. Imagine if every faction had everything. It's just boring. You know what I mean? There's no individuality between the factions that provide any sort of, you know, like spice, right? You know, when it's all the same thing, it's just all the same. Longsword warriors going up against a Parthian swordsman. Then I see archers coming in. Looks like the Highland Hunters. They're a 150 range archer, 30 armor, 35 missile damage. They don't look like they have very much armor on. Some round shield swords here. Now the Gallic Elder Swordsman General for Insubra is already in the thick of things. Interesting, very early timing for a general to be in combat. So 60 melee attack, 45 weapon damage. Pretty solid stats across the board. No headhunt or anything like that, but he did bring the Strategist General. I haven't seen any battle rhythms yet. Here we go, we got the Sabaean archers now shooting at the Highland Hunters. Gotta watch your flank though, there's always that chance of Defender Cavalry coming out of nowhere. And to be honest with you, you are very widely exposed here. Look at this, Saba! Desert Chariots, Sabaean Camel Cataphracts, Camel Cataphracts, Camel Cataphracts, Camel Cataphracts. Holy shnikes. They are all pushing over to the flank here. I think he's just guarding that flank for now with the cavalry while the others get in and continue the attack. This is going to be a bit tough. So as an attacker, Saba went very heavily cavalry, which can be interesting if your teammates are able to get you in the settlement. If the teammates can't get you in the settlement, it's extremely difficult as a cavalry attacker, because realistically there's nowhere to use your cavalry. We have the Parthian Camel Cataphracts. I think this is the same one. 281 kills, 30 men left. They really wiped this round shield swordsman pretty bad. Thorax swords now taking on Gallic Elder Swordsman. Indubitably. Longsword warriors. I think they're maybe setting up to go here. The Sabaean swords just, wiping. They're nuking the Gallic Elder Swordsman. They do not like this unit very much, apparently. Egypt has most of his army in now. Honestly, yeah, pretty much everything. He does have 2 Royal Thorax swords here, kind of protecting the catapult. To be honest with you, with the amount of cavalry you have in the field at this point, you could probably walk away from that. Even if something came out, it would take a long time to get to you, and you've got cavalry that can, respond pretty quickly. Continued attack here. You basically just have Parthia and Egypt right now pulling this attack. So here you go, Thorax pushing this way. They're going to need more reinforcements to go that way with it. So the defender's pulling back to this point. If I was you, I would pull back and sit right here. Because then the attackers have to go and expose their backs, and you put your archers up here and you go pew, 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 pew. That's why, as an attacker, going this way is typically not a good idea. I would avoid it if you can. If you can get overwhelming archer superiority here, you might be able to kick things off. But the problem is that up top here, a lot of this is wooded. So as long as the enemy archers are not shooting, you can't see them. So they could do this stupid thing. By the way, some more Camel Cataphracts in. 259, 65 kills now. What people can do is they can, be hidden, shoot, hit stop, so they go hidden again, shoot, hit stop, so they go hidden again, shoot. And it's super frustrating because it's kind of cheesy. And it can make it extremely hard for the attackers to counter the archers that are there. So Thorax Swords, this is a fresh one, 5 kills. Levy Throw Spear, 77. Now this Thorax Sword has 301 kills. Nicely done. 109. It sure looks like they are not overly interested in pushing this way right now. They're putting a lot of effort into this, but really not pursuing this side at all, really. Well, I was literally about to say, I wonder if we're going to see the Chariots come in soon. And Desert Chariot's about to come in. Now, Desert Chariots, I believe, are the weaker version. They're not listed as Scythe Chariots, but they obviously have scythes on that. Could you imagine that on a battlefield, guys? That would just be the most disgusting thing ever. One of my favorite scenes, so the movie itself is kind of but the movie Alexander, the Gaugamela battle sequence in that movie is so fantastically done. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I love the part where the Chariots charge the pike line of the Macedonians, and Alexander had actually come up with a strategy to deal with Chariots where they basically made a hollow box that would lead the... Because think about it, horses don't like charging solid things, right? So a solid mass of men, cavalry, horses don't like doing it. Especially if they have very long, sharp, shiny, pointy spears. So the trick is getting to the chariot. You got to find a way to get the chariot close enough that you can either kill the horse, kill the driver, whatever you want to say. So he came up with this thing where he basically made the unit, open up into a box like this, so that the chariot would come in and they could get in and kill the rider or the horses, so on and so forth. It's super cool. They show it in the movie, and it's so freaking cool. As a military history nerd, seeing that kind of stuff just is a crazy... I love it. I'm so excited for the Ridley Scott Napoleon movie coming up. I think that it looks fantastic. I think that you have to be careful when watching movies like this because it's Hollywood, guys. You got to remember that they have to do things to kind of spruce this up. For a Hollywood story, the legend is always better than the fact, right? The legends are always going to be the more interesting versions of events to show. So you kind of have to realize that this is a romanticized version of the events of Napoleon's life. And obviously you can only show so much within a certain amount of time. I am so freaking excited. The costumes look fantastic. Visually, it looks amazing. My biggest gripe, if I have one, is just I love Joaquin Phoenix, but it just is a weird casting to me. I just don't really understand it. So I know we got a little bit off topic there, but, not a whole lot has happened. They did finally push this way, mostly because the defenders gave this up. They didn't really push this. The defenders pulled back, and the attackers followed suit. Realistically, all the pressure is happening right here. They are beginning to put pressure on the hill, and also we have our cavalry coming over to the flank, which is going to put pressure here, but not just there. It puts pressure on the backside because cavalry can easily come back here. And it's really hard to get to stop things that come to the back. If they do, your best bet is you're trying to hold as long as you possibly can on this spot. If things get around your flank, you basically have to fall back to that point. So Longsword Warriors pulling back from Insubres. I don't think they're going to put more to the mountain. You can see they're obviously not putting more here because a lot of it just moved back. Bloodsworn, 64 kills. If you're Bloodsworn, you got to keep those guys moving. You have 2 units here. You could cycle those out. 1, 2, 1, 2. Round Shield Warriors, 99 kills, 32 kills. So they went with a Bloodsworn army, it looks like, but, you know, you kind of need to keep those units moving if you're going to do that. Here we go, Chariots coming in. The first line of defense is Gema Spears. Now, the Gema Spears did not get a volley off. I don't think they may. No, I'm pretty sure they had jabbies. It looked like they pulled the jabbies out to shoot. Chariots ripping through the lines. No javelins coming in. Javelins are your best friend. The other thing is shield wall. Shield wall is your best friend shield wall and jabbies are just so incredibly important when it comes to cavalry, chariots, elephants, all of the above. He has another chariot around here somewhere. Right? He didn't use it. You know what? Maybe he did. Maybe he used one chariot to get through this line, and then the second chariot to get all into this. All up in there. But a really good job with that chariot, just kind of breaking up the defensive formations here. It's just sad that the defenses didn't get their jabbies off. It would have been much more effective for them if they had. You know, they might have been able to kill a lot of that unit before it even hit them. Yeah, I think the first chariot died getting through the first defense here. But here we go, Sabaean Camo Cataphracts coming up. We've got some Desert Spears. Sabaean Archers all doing pretty good, 100 kills or more on pretty much all of them. Okay, here we go. They're going to blast the Bloodsworn. Bloodsworn cannot take that. Keep on rolling. 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 Ooh, not a very good charge there. He puts his trample on, but just gets stonewalled on this unit, and no shield wall from the Swordmasters either. So I'm really not exactly sure what caused them to just stop like that. Sometimes it happens. They did charge the back of the Gema Spear. That's going to cause a break there, I'm pretty sure. This guy was wavering, but he kind of came back. So they turned right around and they charged straight into the teeth of the defenses, right at the Swordmasters of Swaby. 97 kills on the Sabaean Camo Cataphracts. Bounce power is heavily in the attacker's favor. You know, the defenders, I think, really just getting overpowered here. Sabaean Camo Cataphracts, 169. And they're just ping-ponging back and forth. Getting a couple kills, couple kills, couple kills. 189 now with Chevron. Probably going to break. I'm kind of surprised at 4 men that they're still around. Not very many units stay around that long. Probably helps that they are pretty beefy on manpower still, so 2 more units of Sabaean Camo Cataphracts coming into the settlement here. And you had the Marib Camo Cataphract General. Or no, that's Royal Marib Cavalry. Interesting. That's a unit you don't see very often. Just another one of their general units. Usually it's Marib Camo Cataphracts that you see. 57 kills, but only 33 men left. I think they got hit pretty bad by the Chariot. They got Archer Fire coming in, Parthian Foot Archers. They're just blasting that line. We will stand our ground. You cannot get in. We'll defend this to the end. Yes. Sorry, just kind of looking around here. Still got longbow hunters back here from the attack, or the defenders, excuse me, but that might be their last range. Hold on. Got some slingers. Okay, there are 2 longbow hunters over there. So far that we can see, that's about it. Realistically, it seems like the person with the majority of troops left is actually Pergamon. You know, Insubres took a pretty heavy beating over on the far left-hand side, you know, facing all that cavalry and stuff. That cavalry just ruined these guys' day. Realistically, you know, the only person that was really truly designed in a way that could take that cavalry was Pergamon. And even then, if they get charged, they're going to get blasted, but their javelins are incredibly important. But when it comes to Swaby, and it seems like in Insubres, they just don't, they don't have the mass, they couldn't take on those cavalry charges, and the cavalry just bulldozed their way through the lines. The Chariots on top of that was pretty vicious. Just a massive mosh pit line here. As you can see, here's the flex to the left here. So Pergamon brings their general back, but they are fully engaged here. This is really not something they're getting out of. Thorax Sword's using formation attack, it looks like. Yeah, it sure looks like it. See how clean the formation is? That's honestly not something that's good in this game. There we go, more units breaking here. I'm not going to be surprised if army losses doesn't start kicking in. Here's the cavalry. Sabine Camel Cataphracts all the way to the back here. Royal Cataphract General from Parthia. We got the other cavalry of Saba sitting in the back. Should probably go in and charge that. They got to be careful because you got an Agema Spear ready to, or a Thorough Spear, excuse me, ready to shoot anything that comes in there. Galatian Swords now coming back, trying to. Honestly, they really can't do much of anything against the Cataphracts, but you know, it is what it is. And the line is fully broken. I'm pretty sure that that is going to be a GG. More Cataphracts coming in. And there's the army losses. Yep. And that is going to be a GG. A just bulldozer performance by Saba here. Let's go look at some kills. How about it? All right, starting off with Parthia being commanded by Graikos, 1621. His army was pretty healthy, you know, especially looking at the archers and things like that. We got Authentic Muslim, 2,449 kills as Egypt. The infantry doing really, really well. All across the board, archers did good as well. Blackfoot commanding Saba, 2,788 kills. Cataphracts, man, his cavalry just pulling it out. His spears, they're just there for show. They're just there to look pretty. They're not even there to work. Tony the Monk, that was Tony, commanding Insubres. I hate to say it didn't work out, man. It didn't work. Jeff Rush as Pergamon. Realistically, he just wasn't built to take most of what the attackers threw at him. And then finally, BT Crab commanding Swaby. More sword masters. That's all I've got to say. And that is going to be it for today's battle. Thank you guys so much for joining. Don't forget that if you are new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and we will see you guys next time.